played the game in England. That's our experience. So you assume there's a culture of cricket and a passion for the game, and talking about England and county, but even in Guernsey, whilst British, we don't have that same culture, do you? Where there is a culture of going to cricket and being part of the club and all those sorts of things. So our kids are largely detached from that. They see cricket a little bit like how Herschel would describe it. So whether within that there's an assumption made that largely kids have actually engaged with, you know, the big characters of the game and part of the community, part of the environment already.
Yeah.
Whether that fits with ECB or ICC, there might be a question there. Would you see? I don't know. Would you see what we do in France and is actually education of what the game is versus educating people within the game? I don't know. Thinking out loud a bit. But.
I don't know how controversial this is, but I was speaking to some of the guys last night, and we've got, I don't know, there's lots of Asians playing European cricket. And in Israel, we've got 80% of the cricketers are Indian, and they react differently to whether I'm coaching them or whether an Indian player is coaching them. It's a different respect. So watching the video, and then I'm thinking, all right, 6 months down the line, I'm going to be teaching this. They will react differently to watching an English coach talk as opposed to an Indian coach talk. And I just think from my side, it will be a lot easier to get a whole lot more Indian coaches having a conversation, giving their philosophy. They'll buy into it a lot more than other coaches. But it's different. ECB, ICC, Europe, it's changing slightly.
What's your job as tutors then? If I mean, the first question is there enough messages in there that align with your own and the way that you run coach education courses? Roland, you were saying today you might have to sometimes go a bit left and right with the current courses and make them look and feel a bit different for the Dutch guys. Is there enough messages in there for you as a tutor to then be able to contextualise that in a Dutch context?
I think it tells me that certainly my philosophy is on the right track. That the way I think about development is on the right track, and I'm very pleased to see this change in the English system, because I thought it was much too hey, you talk about an 80-page document that's typically English. Right? Typically English.
I left that one at home.
And it's got to be much more hands-on, and what I see there is hands-on stuff, development. I think what you have to realize is that it's easy to talk about their own personal development when people are in a high level of physical development, of skill, or everything, and then it's easy to let them go. I think if we are talking with people who are less able or capable, it's a little bit hard, because quite often if you let them go, they will do the wrong thing. So, and that's where you probably have to, the skill of a coach comes in to say, listen, now I have to tell, or I have to say, listen, this is what you have to really work on, or whatever.
So on that, a clear message to come now from David Parsons, I think I remember him saying, we're a bit fed up of having to do remedial work with our players, either in technically physicality or their decisions that they make on the cricket pitch. We're a bit fed up of doing remedial work. We want them coming in at this level.
Correct.
With this technical proficiency, whatever, but this proficiency, so that we can kick them on. Is that a shared desire in the room?
It's a frustration for me in Holland, because we get people hard-working, high performers, so I get people from the clubs, and I have to go back to the core elements because it's not there, and you do in a whole winter